Yes, there we go. That is exactly what we're going to do. A little bit of a detour, you could say, because we're going right in the order, but we're going to a little bit of a side quest because we're in Minnesota, but we're doing these boys. Rest in peace, the Minnesota North Stars, for our top five here. So this one not going to be too much of a long video, but a little bit of a history lesson on this little episode, if you will, on JJ Sessions. As always, there is this thing. See this thing right here? It's called the subscribe button. You want to hit that if you want to be noticed of anything new that we do on here, whether it is the hockey content, the wonderful hot takes we do in the sports world, and all the food stuff dumb stuff that we do. We do appreciate you, and we're still hanging out here a year and a half going along. We appreciate you. Let's keep this going now. The Minnesota North Stars is some of the I got to put this one in there, and it's pretty much as always. I tried to do my best as far as the homework wise and through the NHL uniform database. Now, this one not going to be too difficult because there's not a lot to go by. Probably about 6 or 7. I'm not just rounding up the number here, but there wasn't a lot. But it does give you a little background of all the stuff that they did. All those years of where they were at in there. They also did come into the league. They also came into the league in 1967, the same year the Kings and the Penguins did. The California Golden Seals did that as well, and I think St. Louis was right after that. But the Minnesota North Stars, very, very. It's probably one of the most probably iconic logos, but it's hard to say, hey, let's bring the North Stars back. It's hard to do that now. Excuse me, when there was just a lot of chaos going around with what happened in Minnesota as the North Stars moved to Dallas, became the Dallas Stars, and the Dallas Stars basically have taken that identity. They ran with it for a handful of years, and then made it their own identity. Changed the logo, kept the victory green along with the silver and black, and it's bloomed ever since in Dallas. One of the very few things in Dallas that is not bluish of any sort of way, shape, or form. They kept the victory green. But with these guys, a lot of different stuff as I go by because they just went. I mean, some of these jerseys are some of the most iconic, but also one of the hardest to find. The end logo with the star is what stands out, and the multiple stripes on the bottom. If you were a fan of some of these teams back then, Minnesota, the North Stars, still, I could say this over and over in this video. They're one of the hardest throwbacks to find. You don't know if they're fake or whatnot. The number font has always been different. It has been huge. They use that 2D, 3D type of model, and it's just blossomed. Like you see, like something like this go down, and then you just go to something like this guy right here. This guy. They just do something very, very similar, but very, very simple. The green and yellow always stood out for Minnesota, and then they changed that. And in fact, it actually was the 1 year that they changed up. Remember the year in 1991? It was the year Minnesota went to the Stanley Cup. They went 2 times. They went in 81 against the Islanders and got beat 4-1, and then they went in 91. And I know this personally because they played the Penguins that year, and they got beat 8-0 in Game 6, and it ended up being the last year they had these jerseys, and they ended up going and changing everything up. They changed to the new Stars logo, the new North Stars logo. They changed up to that and the all black jersey that they had. We just seriously remember that. And also, Dallas took these jerseys and made them their own, and they just took this same jersey out of Dallas to the top. And I'll just give you a quick top 5. It really isn't. With Minnesota, there's really no order to go into in this. There really isn't. So I'll just give you that road jersey, that black one. This will always be. I'm surprised they did not do this in a reverse retro. The only thing they really changed in this was adding a little essence more of gold and the Dallas on the front of the front font. Did add the state of Texas patch on the shoulder as well. This will always be a piece of their history as well. And now I'll just go a couple throwbacks. I'll just go to this one. The big N on this one, just the big striping, and especially the laces in the front, throwback-ish. So nice to find. If you have one in your collection, that's a golf clap for you. I'm going to go number 3. This one, I think I don't know if it was really, really iconic or identical or not. They're so hard to tell. But I like this one a lot. I really do. And I'm surprised the Wild didn't do anything like this. But we know where we know where the type of the history comes from in this. Plain in the front, stripings on arms, plain on the bottom. This was as simple as you can get back in the day. They didn't have to hit anything out of the park. Minnesota, that's why they just knew how to do things. And I'm just going to go 2-1, and I actually don't mind 2-1. And it's just the last couple jerseys they did, the white and the black. When they added the black trim to the North Star, to the 90s version of this model of a jersey, this template, it stood out so much. They wore this in the Stanley Cup, and if I could find that jersey, I will buy it because it's such a big thing. Mike Modano wore that jersey. Neil Mike Modano, Neil Broughton, Sean, Casey. Boy, there are a lot of those. Basil McRae. A lot of players. Minnesota. Remember, that's why they called Minnesota the state of hockey, and they just did so many different things on that. I like them. I didn't mind the white one because the white one's got the end one, got the same logos on the top here, but such a thing on that of how new now of how the North Stars. With people wondering like why in the world would they just go by this? Well, I'll tell you a little bit of a history lesson. It's going to be the quickest history lesson that you could possibly fathom on this, because remember, Minnesota when they were rising up, it was starting to have a little bit of after the Cup final. They declined a little bit again. It was attendance. It was attendance. It was the brand change. They were also, remember, they were playing in Bloomington. They were playing in the Bloomington Met Center all those years. And they also shared that with an indoor soccer team called the Strikers. Go look that up. But they both shared that building. They wanted to play in the new Target Center where the Timberwolves of the NBA played. But oh my God, dude, you don't realize how much drama there was. They didn't want to play in Target because of a Coke Pepsi thing. There was a little bit of personal stuff going around in the whole in the front office that was also going around, and then you add all that stuff to declining revenue, declining things. They can't figure you can't get a new building, so the owner was thinking about let's move the team to LA, call them the LA Stars, and then Dallas threw their name in the hat and says we're packing our stuff, we're moving to Dallas. And Dallas has flourished ever since. And Minnesota, it just became one of those things where the North Stars, you're not going to see them back, but it will always be kind of like the Hartford Whalers, a very iconic logo, huge in the throwback market. You try to find anything with North Stars, Whalers, whatever. You pick it up, snap, take it up. Don't even think twice about it. But a history lesson of like, you missed the North Stars. What do you remember anything on the North Stars? What was your favorite? There's a lot of stuff that go by because next time I see you, we'll be doing the Minnesota Wild. And but this was a little short video. Let's get you guys out of here so you guys can do whatever you need to do. I can do what I need to do. The bar is closed. Enjoy everything that we've been doing. Keep us doing, keep us going. Support the channel. Throw your comments in. Subscribe if you get a chance to. I will see you legends in the next one. This is the Minnesota North Stars. And kudos to Mitchell and Ness because I still try to find stuff every once in a while. These are the guys I remember. See you guys in the next one.